Welcome, bienvenidos, mabuhay, to Still Here, Still Trying, the only podcast where optimism meets disaster, and disaster usually wins. Senor Mike Baker, Kuya Mike Baker, Astig si Kuya Mike, and the man you came for, el optimista del brisket camado. Ang hari ng hockey goalie pads that smell like adobo and regret. Your host, your guia, your kuya, Mike Baker. Mike Baker, el optimista, Kuya Mike, still trying. Get ready for another wild and crazy episode of the best podcast you never knew you needed. Because la vida, ang buhay, life itself, will burn your comida, crash your computadora, and make you look tanga en público. Pero he's still here, still trying. Mike Baker, el optimista, Kuya Mike, still trying. For lighthearted, Mike Baker, el optimista, Kuya Mike, still trying.
I don't even know how to follow that, and I make those introductions. I mean, I've got a choir singing my name in English, Spanish, and Tagalog. At this point, I think I should just retire because that's peak life right there. But since I'm still here and I'm still trying, let's roll. This is episode 10, and this episode is not about grief. It's not about heartbreak. We've been there before. We've been talking about some heavy stuff on this podcast. This one, I just wanted it to be lighter. So this is about the everyday disasters, and they're the ones that make you cringe in the moment, but you laugh about them later. So today, I'm giving you the Optimist's Disaster Survival Toolkit. I just made it up. It's not a real thing, but you're going to love it. This is not for meteors. This is not for zombies. This is just for burnt dinners, tech fails, public embarrassment, and all the curveballs that life throws at us, which I know plenty about, and I'm excited to share with you. All right, this first one here, we're going to talk about the food fail protocol. So food disasters, we have all had them, and if you've got a backup plan, whether that's pizza delivery or just pouring a bowl of cereal, you are going to survive. The most recent one for me, though, was the Traeger pizza incident. I've had two. I'm going to talk about one tonight. Now, normally, my Traeger pizzas are legendary. They are perfect. The dough is amazing. They have smoky flavor. The crispy crust is just incredible. Sam's had some friends over that they always ask for the pizzas. My family likes them. We just had our whole family in town this weekend. Cameron's in town from New Zealand, and Jake came up from Boise. We pulled out all the stops. Turned out incredible. However, a couple weeks ago, Sam had a friend over, and I totally blew it. I forgot to take the dough out early enough, and so it was still frozen. And hey, I'm a problem solver, right? So I wanted to I think we could thaw it out in the microwave. Well, I put it in the microwave and I did 30-second bursts, right? And so it was a little hot when I took it out. But pro tip, do not put pizza dough in the microwave. It is not a great way to thaw it out. Well, anyway, got it out. I rolled it out, and it was this weird rubbery dough. I stretched it out the best that I could. We put the toppings, and I silently prayed, like, I don't think this is going to work. But hey, we gave it a try. But what came out of the Traeger, it was like this rough cardboard cheese nasty pizza. I mean, it was gross. The crust is such a big part of your pizza. It was embarrassing, right? And so, sometimes things just fail and it doesn't work out. But the best part of this was watching everybody politely chew it, and they were pretending that it was fine. And Sam's friend, she's like, "Oh yeah, this is good." And no, it wasn't. It was terrible. We ended up throwing away, had a good laugh. And that's kind of the food fail protocol, right? Nobody remembers the perfect meals, but they remember the fails. And if you can just find a way to laugh about it or just order Domino's. You're gonna be okay. Now, the next one, this one's so oh my gosh, this one's so funny. The tech, I calling this one the tech gremlin response plan. So if food fails bring families together, tech fails bring coworkers together. Now, I have to say, I did. I once fell asleep on a Zoom call. Camera was on, microphone was off. It was a long, long meeting, and my head was just drooping. My eyes were closed. I don't think I fully snored, but I got close. And it's so much fun to watch people's reactions or hear people sort of chiming in like, "Hey, do you guys see Mike over there?" And then there's like the mute button. I think this one's so funny. This is the universal enemy to Zoom calls. You pour your heart into this 3-minute dialogue. You're going, and then only to see someone waving at you. You're on mute. That is brutal, right? And of course, the opposite when you're thinking that you're muted and you're not. Everybody's seen the YouTube videos, kids screaming in the background, cats jumping on keyboards, somebody muttering something they really shouldn't have said. Kelly showed me an Instagram video this today, actually, that it had me cracking up. It was a CEO, and he's hosting the Zoom call, and meanwhile, his entire team is drinking out of the most ridiculous things that you can imagine. Somebody's got a toy dump truck full of water. Somebody else had a giant boot. Another had a vase. And they kept it going for like 15 minutes. And the CEO, he knows that there's something off and he can see everyone laughing, but nobody would tell him. And I think they were just testing to see how long it would take him for people to notice. And he just kept powering through while people were sipping out of random objects. And ultimately, he figured it out. I think it was the dump truck. He saw somebody drink out of the dump truck, and he's like, "What the heck?" It's like, "What's happening here?" And I think it's just funny. It's hilarious when all that stuff happens. So that's tech. It's awkward. It's unpredictable, and it's chaotic. So the survival rule for that is just like that CEO. Let's just laugh first and then reboot second, because pretending that it didn't happen just makes it worse. I owned that I fell asleep, and it's still fun to talk about. When you can laugh at it, you make the meeting absolutely better than it ever would have been. All right, the next one we're going to talk about the public embarrassment playbook. This one's actually pretty funny. Uh, so rule of thumb, tell the story before someone else does. Now, I have a scar to prove this. I don't think you're going to be able to see it on the Zoom, but I'm going to put it up there and pretend that you can. Um, Early in my career, I was presenting at a conference, and they'd put out Silly Putty as a fidget toy. And for someone with ADHD, those fidget toys are gold. It's just the jackpot. I have to have something to do with my hands. So there I am, watching the presentation. It wasn't my turn yet, but I I don't know, for some reason my brain needed a challenge, and so I decided to get the Silly Putty out, and I had a water glass in front of me, and I started to like stretch out the Silly Putty and wrap it around the glass of water that I had sitting there on the podium. And I was feeling pretty proud of myself. I'm listening, I'm paying attention to this. It was a great speaker. I'm keeping my hands busy, and I did it. I got the Silly Putty all around the glass, and I was just kind of holding it. And then all of a sudden, and the glass exploded. And a shard of glass shot into my hand. And I'm up there like, what just happened? I'm up there, I'm bleeding. I mean, it was a gusher. And I'm on stage in front of all of these people that I know that I was supposed to present to. Um, and then all of a sudden, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. It's sort of like this unplanned blood sacrifice. And so I excused myself. I put a paper towel on it. I ended up just, doing a brief presentation. I'm sitting there holding my hand with a paper towel on it. But to this day, I've got a scar for that moment. And it makes me laugh every time that I see it. Not because it was polished, but because it wasn't. That's the thing about embarrassment. You can try to bury it or you can own it. And when you own it, when you turn it into a story, it flips and it becomes a connection because nobody's perfect. We all have these stories. Now, your stories might not be as goofy as mine, but we all have the stories. So just remember, nobody remembers the brilliant points that I made in that talk, but they all remember the guy who shattered a glass with Silly Putty. And honestly, that works. All right, the next one, the curveball rule. Well, this one's just fascinating. I get to talk about hockey here for a minute. So, hockey has given me plenty of curveballs. Being a goalie is basically inviting the universe to mess with you. Defenders block your view, pucks bounce off your own guys, and half of the time, the goals come from the weirdest ricochets. It's insane. Well, we had a game once where someone tried to pass the puck up the ice. No pressure, just one defender to the other guy. It should have been simple. And so I I wasn't paying attention. I was just tracking it, waiting to see the puck go up the ice. And instead, the puck bounced off the guy's skate and it bounced perfectly backward and it slid into the net behind me. Now, nobody could believe it. It was a total fluke. And then there are just the headshots. So just this week, I'm going to give a shout out to Mason. Mason, if you're listening, you know I love you, buddy. You're an incredible hockey player. You work hard. You're fun to play with. But the last two times we've been on the ice, you haven't scored on me. Which means after this airs, he's coming for me totally. All right. So if I show up with a black eye or something, you know that's because Mason got to me. But anyway, the other night Mason took this just bomber of a shot. It hit me just square on the nose of my mask, and both of the straps just popped off. My head's just sitting there ringing. My helmet's just shaking. The play's going on around me, and I'm just trying to stay upright while holding my mask in place. And that's hockey. It's total chaos. There's curveballs flying at your face, and you still have to stay present. You have to stay there and fight and work through it. Unfortunately, this was just a drop in, and it wasn't a big deal. We stopped the play. I put my straps back on. But during a game, right, you have to stay focused, and you have these curveballs that come in and they present this challenge, and you need to find a way to work through it. That's where, for me, optimism and all the other tools that we have in life, they come into play. They keep us focused and they help us deal with the things that are coming at us. So that is life too. Like, you don't always see it coming. You don't see the puck coming at your head. And sometimes the puck bounces off a skate and into your net. But optimism doesn't mean that you ignore the hard things, right? It means that you find your balance, you reset, and you get back in the game. So that's the curveball rule. If you can fold it into the story, you're gonna win. All right, so there you have it. This is the Optimist Disaster Survival Toolkit. You've got food fail. So if you have a food fail, you're going to order pizza. If you have a tech fail, you're going to laugh first and reboot second. Public embarrassment, own the story, and curveballs, just fold them into life. Everyday disasters, they don't make you less optimistic. They just make you more human. And usually that means that we're more connected. So the next time that life clowns you, just remember it's probably going to be a story that's worth telling later. And until then, remember that I'm still here and I'm still trying. And I'm so proud of you for still being here and still trying. Go out there and have a beautiful day. Make some great memories, and I'll see you next week. Okay, well, before I close out this episode, I want to take a few minutes to talk about the new album that I've released. It's called Invisible Wars. This project started from some heavy things, invisibility, those battles that people don't see, the weight you carry in silence. But I didn't want to make it heavy. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be alive, defiant, and I even put a choir in it. Because when life tries to erase you, the best answer is just to sing louder, be bolder, be bigger than ever. Musically, this album moves. It's indie soul, electronic, but the real heartbeat is momentum. Even the songs that come from pain, they push forward instead of holding back. And when the choir comes in, it doesn't just feel like me carrying the fight anymore. It feels like community and strength, and everything is just multiplied. It's incredible. So here's how I'm sharing it. You've seen me start to drip things out on social media, but the full album, I always release my full albums on SoundCloud because I'm just so excited for people to hear them, and it's a great platform. I love SoundCloud. So the full album is on SoundCloud right now, start to finish, the whole arc. Go check it out. At the same time, I'm dripping singles out all week on Spotify and everywhere else. So if you follow me there, you'll see the album unfold mostly track by track. I'm not doing every single one because remember I have ADHD. Like patience is not my favorite thing. Anyway, they drip out a few tracks and then I've got the episode releasing on Friday. So here's how I'm sharing it. The full album is on SoundCloud right now, start to finish, the whole arc. I love SoundCloud. I always just release my full albums onto SoundCloud. So that's kind of SoundCloud's awesome because it's sort of this hidden little spot for people to find music. And so my real fans are there. They see me, they're listening to my stuff all the time. And then at the same time, I'm dripping singles out all week on Spotify and everywhere else. So if you follow me there, you'll see the album unfold track by track. I'm not doing every single song. That's too much suspense. And remember, ADHD guy, that patience is not my virtue. Um, I just I was creating a little suspense and I think it's fun. So, and honestly, one of the funnest parts this last little bit has been making those little looping video clips that are on Spotify. So when you're listening on Spotify, make sure you expand it out and watch the little video clips. I've shared some on my social media pages. They're just so fun, but each song has its own short visual. They're quirky, creative, and they make the music feel like it lives in motion. I think I had as much fun making those as recording the tracks. So yeah, Invisible Wars is personal, but it's not weighed down. It's fun, it's hopeful, it's loud, and it's alive. Now, here's my ask. If the podcast or the music or the art or my book, if there's anything in this that helps you, will you please, please, please help me share it? Stream the songs, follow along on Spotify, SoundCloud, Instagram, hit those buttons on your screens. Every time you do that, it tells the algorithm that, hey, there's something worth tracking here, and it helps spread the news out to other people. So share that post, send an episode to a friend who might need it. Every little thing helps build this community, and it helps get the work out to the people who need it the most. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for helping carry it further than I ever could on my own. It was so much fun the other day to see that my music has been streamed. We're creeping up on 1 million plays all across the world. It's so cool. We still have a couple 100,000 left. We're really close. I think we're about 850 across everything that I've done. But it's just so much fun to see that the work that we're doing is getting out there into the world. And I get messages from all around the world of people that are reaching out saying, hey, I heard that song. It was great. I read this thing in your book. It's really cool. Your social media. It's fun. So we're building a community and it's a blast. So thank you again for being part of it. Let's cross that 1 million plays threshold. So hey, when you're at work, just throw those songs on, hit play. Let's see what happens. Anyway, I'll let you go. I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite songs on the album. It's called Invisible Wars. It is the headline track on the album. It's great. It's got a really great beat to it. So I'm gonna send you out with that, and then I will see you back next week. Take care. Here's the title track from my new album, Invisible Wars. Hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I smile when I don't know why. Laugh to keep the tears inside. Everybody's got their camouflage, but truth don't need a disguise. You pull away like a ghost in the room, scrolling your phone just to hide the gloom. But the silence is louder than any song, and I know that you've been holding on. You don't have to carry every stone. Bruises don't mean you're alone. We're all fighting invisible war, punching the air behind closed doors. But maybe that's just how we grow. I don't have the answers, but I know you're not alone. I talk big, but I don't have a clue. Half the time I'm just faking it too. Yeah, the world says strong, but I say scared. Still I'll sit right here, I'm not going anywhere. You don't have to carry every stone. Bruises don't mean you're alone. We're all fighting invisible war, punching the air behind closed doors. But maybe that's just how we grow. I don't have the answers, but I know you're not alone. Maybe pain's just part of the art. Maybe scars just sketch who we are.